Hello! How are we? I hope we're good. Just a disclaimer, we have a very full house this weekend. Normally there's 4 adults and 2 children, and now we have 9 adults and 4 children. So you can hear one of them right now. I don't know what's going on with her. That's not my child. Mine are being put to bed right now. Not by me. But yeah, she's not happy. So I'm really sorry about that. But this is what we have here. We have Details Day. So what I'm going to do is just show you a couple little things extra that you can do with your hoops, a couple different stitches that you could put places if you want to. And then do a couple little details. So for example, we're going to do the little detached chain stitch here. I'm going to show you 2 or 3 additional stitches that you can use in different places around your hoop. The key here is to not make it too much, not too overwhelming, okay? So you can really pack like around the kind of borders that we've made with different stitches. But you don't want to put too much. The only thing is, only you know when enough is enough, okay? Meaning, only you know when you look at your hoop and what you've done, when to stop, all right? There's no like, do 4 extra fronds here and then stop. No, like you might decide that you like it a lot more busy, or someone else might decide, I don't want to do anything else. I just want to do what we've said. Okay. Other people might want to put like a seed stitch all through the green and some bubbles up here and some shells and a stingray and a seahorse and a shark and a lobster and an eel and a seal. Like some people might want to just throw it all in there, and that's totally fine too, okay? But you need to know when to stop on your own hoop. So if you look at it and you are starting to think this is a little bit overwhelming, then you probably need to stop. But I like more and more and more. So the first little extra stitch I'm going to show you is just a regular fly stitch. We did the whipped fly stitch here. Okay, but I'm going to show you just a fly stitch over here. There's also a fern stitch, which is very similar, and it just shows you that it's like the same stitch, but you can do it 2 different ways, basically. So I'm just going to do a little fly stitch over here. So you're going to start like this and go down. You can make these as close together as you want to, or as far apart as you want to, doesn't matter. You're going to come up on this side and then down on this side. Now I know this is a little bit similar to the single feather and the feather stitch, but I think it's quite fun because you can put little ones around in different places, okay? So for example, if you wanted to just put like 2, 1, 2, 3 small ones, you could put them kind of coming up from here on the side this way. You can put a little curve to them, coming up here next to this little guy, or up around here. You can put them up this way or up this way, up this way. Like there's all kinds of little like extra spaces that you can put these. So I do like showing these. I'm telling y'all, she's not happy. So again, apologies, but she's been like this all afternoon. So hopefully they'll figure out what it is. But yeah, I just like to put them places. They work really good as like flowers and like foliage as well. So you'll notice in a lot of my patterns, I will put these little things in. Now the fly stitch has this little thing like this. So this, it's not my baby. It's my brother's. But yeah, she's so cute though. So I'm assuming that she wants something. We were making beaded bracelets with Miles and his cousin, who's the same age. before my kids' bedtime. So I have a feeling, because she was trying to eat the beads, that they stopped doing it because she was putting them in her mouth. So I have a feeling that she's like, no, let me do it. So the fly stitch is like this, and it kind of looks like, you know, those birds that you would make like in like school when you're like in first grade, and you put a little like curved line like that, and you're like, look, it's a bird, it's flying away. That's what this looks like to me. Little fly stitches. And fern stitches are exactly the same, except it's 3 straight stitches. So it's 1, 2, and then up for 3, and then 1, 2, and then up for 3. So it's just 3 single straight stitches to make a pattern for the fern stitch. Whereas the fly stitch, I think, oh my gosh, I've just done it instead. I can just show you how to do it, I guess. Whereas the fly stitch has that 1 stitch that holds like the little flying bird in place. I think with the fern stitch, you can make like really nice sharp corners. And with the fly stitch, you're always going to have that little bend like that right here. Because essentially that 1 little stitch is holding the thread in place. So just something to think about if you want to do fly or fern. And like I said, you can put these as close together as you want to, meaning you can make this little stitch here like really short if you want, and make them like really, really grouped together. Or you can make it more spread out. So just depends on what you like. So there we go. I told you guys at the beginning, we've got a very full house. So you can also play with the length of these, making them shorter and then bigger and then shorter. And these here, again, shorter and then longer and then shorter. So there's a lot that you can do with the fern and fly stitch. I quite like it. And like I said, I use it a lot. So that's always a good one to kind of like fill in different places, especially if you just need a little bit of something, you know, to like put somewhere. So I just noticed that on mine, there was like a little area there. So I thought, why not? I'll just put a little something there. So let's change colors. Maybe. I like this pink too. I saw it in the box, and actually I was going to use a different color there. I saw it in the box and I was like, ooh, I think I need to use this pink. I'm going to stick with this pink though, because I think it could be cute like down here too, to kind of like tie everything together, or maybe sticking up maybe like over here or over here, you know? You can't see that because it was off the camera. Oh, silly. Right, so another one that I like to use, just put a little knot in this thread. I'm going to put it sticking up here and here. Okay, is a detached chain stitch. Yeah. Or 2 or 3. You can put some little straight stitches around it. Make it kind of like pop out like that. Just quite a fun little, would help if you could see it. Just quite a fun little, you know, to put little detached chain stitches here and there. You can also put one long one and one short one right next to each other. That oftentimes is quite effective. You could also do, which is one of my other favorite little things, is just doing some straight stitches. But we're going to put this one here right next to it. Why is this so grainy? Why is this so grainy looking? Like, don't do that. Okay, I'll put this one just right down that same hole like that. I'm gonna put this one here down that same hole on the other side. And we'll do that one more time on each side, just a little bit lower. I know this is really small, so you can't see it so well. I'll do it somewhere else as well so you can see it a bit better. Okay, but it makes these little, like, almost like little leaves, kind of. Let's do another one just right next to here. Okay, so you could do it with even more strands. So put it like this. And put this one just right next to it. Same hole. Like that. Oh. I've got 4 strands on my needle right now, by the way. So I've done all these little details with just the 4 strands. You can use more or less. Like I said, at the very beginning of the stitch along, you can do more or less if you use more or less strands. Okay, so if you want like quite a delicate little look, then use less strands. You can even use 2 strands in a lot of cases, and it will look quite nice, especially if you just have tiny little details that you want to add in. So these next ones, we're just going a little bit lower, and these next ones, again, a little bit lower, and then down that same hole. And then finally, we're just going to do one more. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to zoom back out, and you can kind of like see what I mean. Okay, so it just gives like a little, like almost like a fan leaf type situation. Okay, and you don't have to do so many. You could just do like 2 or 3, sorry, 1 down the middle and then 1 on each side, or you could do 2 sets, like 2 on each side. Or you could do 3 sets on each side. You can dot these all along here. You can put them up on here on the top if you want. I wouldn't go around the ship too much because you kind of want that to be like, pow, you know, in the background. But they're really good to kind of like put around places. And then that paired with this kind of detached chain stitch and like the straight stitches like that. I just feel like they kind of fill it up a little bit. You could also overlay things, like if you wanted to put a couple little stitches over top, you know, of different places, you could do that if you wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and do some detached chain stitches here with a different color. And then, guys, I think that's really like it. I think that's all. I think that's all that I've got. I really don't have a lot as far as like extra things. I think the main part was just to tell you guys. I wonder if I could use this color instead. Oh, rats. I brought my hoop stand all the way from England, and it still does this all the time if I don't have it like in there perfectly tight. I feel like it's just too close to that color though. Do you know what I mean? Got this one, which is like a dark, dark, dark. I'm gonna try that one. I have a feeling I took some strands out of this though. Yeah, there's only 4 there. Oh, there they are. Let's put this back. Okay. Got it. Thank you for the stitch along while you were on vacation. Super sweet of you to share your time. You are so welcome. Honestly, I think some of it was because I thought it would be way too long to do a stitch along from, when was it, June until September. But then the other part of me was like, all the time, the people in the States, they always have like such weird times when I'm going live. So I thought it might be nice for people in the States, like when they got off work and after they had their dinner, they could also enjoy a bit of stitching time, you know? So that was kind of the reason. So these here are going to be detached chain stitches as well. You can put a little straight stitch inside each one if you want to, and they're going to overlap. So don't be afraid to overlap these, just to make sure that they're like really getting to be like the front focus of this, you know, like right in the front of that. It's been fun actually getting to stitch live with you. Yeah. And you know what? I feel like I know a lot of you better too. Like people who don't normally come to the lives because of the time, or because they're at work, or maybe it's just like a bit inconvenient. I feel like I get to know like a few other people too, like people who tag me, but we don't actually get to chat. So it's really been super lovely. I think Natalie's going to do one in the middle of September. I think I'm going to try and do mine around the 8th, but I think she's going to do one too. So hopefully everyone will go and do her stitch along and my stitch along. I'm trying to do 2 of them before November, and then another one in December, like the very beginning of December, and that's going to be my Christmas ornament stitch along. So I'm thinking that will be a good mix, but we'll see. I'll be doing both. Yay! I mean, honestly, for the price of them and all that you get, like, I mean, I think the worry is that if you do one, you won't do the other, and that's for anyone who has stitch-alongs, because I know I'm not the only person who does a stitch-along. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have a monopoly on stitch-alongs. Like, lots of people do stitch-alongs. But I think everyone is always worried that if you have a stitch-along at the same time as someone else, it's the same as any event or anything like that, then people won't do yours because they might do the other person's. And I always think, why do people have to pick? Why not do both? You know what I mean? Especially when the videos are all saved and you can come back at any time. They are super affordable, especially if you buy them in the first, 3 or 4 days. They're always on sale. I know both me and Natalie do that, where we have them on sale for the first couple days, and then they go up to just 2 pounds more. So it's not like if you find it late, you're like getting ripped off or anything like that. It's only 2 extra pounds. So I feel like there needs to be one more right here. So I'm just going to squeeze another one in. I don't know if that's in the pattern or not, but I feel like it needs one. So I'm just going to do that. See, I feel like that looks good. And then you could also go back even with a different color. Okay, if you could go back with a different color. I didn't even zoom in on that. I'm sorry. You could go back in with a different color and do little straight stitches down the middle of each of these, and it would really make them pop, and then show the different heights of each of them as well. So there we go. Do we have any questions about any of the things that I've shown? Because if not, I'm just going to tell you really quickly how I close up my hoops. We've already done a running stitch, so I'm not actually going to show you. But I will do a video where I show actually how to do it. You know what I mean? I'm just going to explain to you how to do it, how I normally do it. So let me just move this and my new brick friend out of the way so I can show you. Yes, I'm on a stool, okay? I've been teaching on a bar stool. So, multi-talented, all right? So what I normally do, okay, I even only have these scissors with me, so I'm super sorry. Right, so what I normally do is I lay it flat like this on the table, and I give it a little trim, okay? So as we've been working on it the last kind of 3 weeks, your fabric might be a bit frayed. You might have stitched through the fabric. Maybe your fabrics are different sizes like mine are. Or maybe you just didn't cut it in a circle, and maybe it's still a square. Okay, what I normally do is give it just one nice haircut, I guess. You know what I mean? Just give it a nice little trim. And that kind of makes it so that all the edges are really nice. You can use pinking shears, or you can use the, what's it called? The scalloped shears. I really like those too for this. This will help your fabric not to fray. And it just gives it like a nice look on the back. Do you know what I mean? So I would do that around the edge. I actually ended up buying new ones because I could not be bothered to find the old ones I had after moving. So I've bought new ones. Totally forgot about the live. It's Saturday, don't worry. So I would do that around. And then what you're going to do is start at the very top like this. And what I like to do, I'm going to show you just a little bit. If I just put this really short thread on, I've got a really short one. But what I do is I hold it against my stomach like this. And I go in, out, and pretend that this is like the edge. That's about how far I normally do it away. Okay? So you go in, out, just like a running stitch, except we're kind of making these like pleats. And then you're going to pull this through all the way around. And you see how it's starting to like gather? When you go all the way around, okay, make sure your fabric's nice and tight in there. Make sure your hardware is nice and tight. When you go all the way around, you're going to pull both ends. And it's going to cinch it up all together like this. All the way around. And that's going to keep it nice and tight. We're doing a lot of pretending right now. Okay, just like that. So when you flip it over, it's going to be like that. All right. Now, some people like to use glue. So they'll cut it really close to the edge, like even that close. They'll cut it all the way close, and then they'll just put some glue on the inside and then close it up like that. I don't like doing that because I don't like glue anywhere around my projects. I'm not a big fan of that. I come from like an art education background, so the idea that you put glue on it is just going to deteriorate your fabric. But the other thing I don't like about it is that if you ever wanted to do something else with this, meaning if you wanted to put a different frame in it, or if this frame gets broken, or say that, I don't know, you had it on a bookshelf and your cat knocked it over and it got a bit of coffee on it or something, and you wanted to just like spot clean it a little bit, you actually couldn't make that fabric tight again. Okay, so over time, sometimes your hoops will get like a little bit like saggy, or the fabric might not be as tight in the hoop anymore. If you have extra fabric like this, you can always take out that running stitch that I showed you, and you can just give it a little tug like this all the way around, and then it will be brand new again. So I just like to be mindful of those kinds of things. The other thing is that if you have a pattern that's not all the way to the edge, so say you did like, I don't know, just something in the middle, okay, and everything else was white. One day you could look at that and say, I want to put it in a frame. You could take it out of the hoop, give it a nice iron, and then actually put it in a frame that's rectangular if you had enough fabric. Okay, so this is what I mean. You can always change your mind if you keep enough fabric there. But if you cut it short and glue it, you're really like lowering your chances of being able to do something else with this down the line if you really wanted to. So again, you guys are probably going to all roll your eyes, but I say it every single stitch along. I'm a Libra. I'm so indecisive. I can never decide on anything. And I always think, what about this? Or what about that? Or what about this? And I know it's so cliche, but 1,000% that's me. Even with like doing stitch alongs, or even like a color choice, I'm like, oh, I could have done that there. I could have changed this one. And sometimes it's a bit difficult because I'm always stuck in that, like, well, what if this one would look better? What if people will like this better? What if it works? Or what if it doesn't work? Or what if it's awful? Or what if it's great? I don't know. So there you go. That's kind of my little backstory there. Hanging these, some people put just one little nail in the wall like this and then hang it like that. So it's literally just a circle. Some people put a ribbon through the top, like a loop, and you can hang it from there. It just depends on kind of how you want it to look and what you want to do with it afterwards. Some people turn it into like a banner or like a hanging thing, you know what I mean? But it just depends on what you like and what you want to do with it. So I really hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to finish all of mine before I go, and then I can take it back with me, and add it to my stitch along list, my group of hoops that I've done all stitch alongs with. So yeah, I hope that you've liked it. I hope you've had a good time. I hope you'll do the next one. I really hope you'll do the next one, because I just love stitching with you guys. This is normally where I get emotional, so I'm just going to love you and leave you like I always do. If you have any questions at all, please let me know, and I'm happy to answer. All the videos will be on YouTube. I'm going to download them tonight and upload them tonight, meaning I'm going to take them from Instagram and then put them on YouTube, so that if you do need anything or need to watch or pause or whatever, they'll be there, okay? The shorter videos were totally good for that, and I am like so thankful that it's actually worked, because I'm not going to lie, that's kind of a big reason I haven't been doing a lot of stitch alongs like I used to, because if I can't get the videos off, it's hard to keep the listing to be sold again. Do you know what I mean? Because having to tell people, yeah, they're all on Instagram. People don't want to watch on Instagram, let's be honest. But for a live, it's super fun, and I love like stitching and chatting with you guys. Like sometimes I think maybe I should just like do a pre-recorded video, but then I'm like, what if people have questions? What if people want to chat about stuff? Like, I need to be with my people, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna go now. That's all I've got. So I'll see you guys soon in September. If you have any suggestions for the next stitch along, let me know. I have about 5 different drawings that I'm doing right now. Don't love any of them, but that's the life, isn't it? We just keep drawing and we just keep going. So yeah, I'll talk with you guys later, and thank you so much for being here, honestly. All of the tags, all of the likes. Oh, I need some help connecting with the WhatsApp group. Send me a message and I will help you right after this, okay? Yeah, I'm just thankful for you guys. I love doing this so much, and I really hope that I can keep doing it. So, yeah, thank you, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, bye.